Hey everybody, I'm Ryan Laukat. I just wanted to take a moment and show you my new game, Artifacts Inc. This is a fun little game where you're going to be controlling an archaeology artifact hunting business in 1929. And the goal of the game is to become the most famous artifact hunting company. So how do you do this? Well, you're going to be sending your adventurers to go and search for artifacts and selling them to museums. You can also search below the waves and look for sunken treasure and all sorts of fun stuff like that. So let's just dive into it. So I've set up the game here for 2 players. Over here, this can be your setup right here. This is your company. Each of these cards represents an asset of your company. And over here is my company. They're exactly the same at the start of the game. Right here we both start with $2, and we have a couple of adventurers that can go and go look for relics and artifacts for us. And right here in the middle, these cards down here, these are cards that you can purchase they're additional assets for your company that will help you find more things that you can sell to museums and become more famous. And then up here these are the cards that you're going to be diving for. These are like lost, sunken treasures. And this row up here, these are public action cards that anybody can use. So this is somewhat of a worker placement game. Let me show you how it works. So I'm going to take my turn first. So right here you can see on this card, this says Adventurers. I have 3 adventurers, so that means I start with 3 dice. So the first thing I'm going to do is take 3 dice. I'm going to roll those dice. These represent my adventurers that are going to go out and find treasure and do other things. So I rolled a 3, 2, and a 5. So let me show you on some of these cards. They have actions. So right here you can see, let's look at this card here, the Desert Expedition. It's got an action right here that lets me find scrolls, and I have to have a 4 or higher to go there. You can see the little plus sign. So let's see, what do I got here? Yeah, I do have a 5, so I'm going to place the 5 there. So I put the 5 on the card, and now I find a scroll because that guy went out to the desert and found the scroll. So what do? I put a little cube on this card. That cube now represents that it's a scroll. Let me show you this other card. Right here, this card also has some actions on it. You can see it has a 1 and a 3 or higher. So I could place a 1 here or a 3 or higher. In fact, I could place 2 dice here and they would find 2 artifacts. But I'm not going to do that. I have a 3 and a 2 left. So what should I do with these adventurers? Well, I just found my artifact, so it might be a good idea to go and sell it to a museum. It'll help me earn money, which I can use to buy more assets for my company. So let's see. Let's go up to the museum cards. So you can see this museum here. This museum buys scrolls, and it'll buy them in sets of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. I have a set of 1, so I could send an adventurer up here. I only need a 1 or higher, so I'll put him right there. Now I can sell my my artifact. So we'll go over here, take that cube, and sell it to the museum. So I'm going to place it on the 1 to show that I took that order. And in the future, if somebody wants to go here, they can only sell sets of 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. So how much money do they pay for the artifact? Well, you get $1 per cube, and then a bonus depending on what kind it is. So if it's fossils, they're not worth very much, so there's no bonus. That's in the top left corner. Scrolls are worth 1. I sold 1 cube, so I get $1, and then I get a bonus of 1. So I get $2 in total. So I'll go over here, take my $2, and put them right here. So now I have 4, and I have 1 adventure left. So let me just show you what I could do with this guy. There are a bunch of things. that I haven't really talked about yet. So he could go up to, you've seen the museum cards. These cards right here are other public actions. So for example, I could send him here to do guide work. So he'd basically be going up to help some rich dentists go on their, super safari or whatever, find, just go on some kind of adventure, and they'd pay him $1. I could come up here and I could sell artifacts to private collectors, and I'd get $1 each, just like at the museum, but I can sell any combination, and I get extra money for having multiple types. But I don't even have any artifacts left, so I don't need to go there. These are the treasures that I could dive for. The amount I need on my dice is on the bottom corner of all these cards. So I would only need a 2. I could send the guy here, right like that, and I'd get this card, and it would give me a pottery, and it would also give me a reputation point. That's that little in the shield. That's that icon. And it would only take 2. Now these are interesting because they're in numerical order, and every time somebody takes a treasure, it gets harder. So that's something to keep in mind. Actually, what I'm really going to do, what I want to do, is go to my headquarters so I can buy a new card. So when I go here, I can buy something, an asset card, one of these cards here. The top row are easy, or I mean cheap. Those are A cards. These are B cards in the middle row. And in the bottom row are C cards. And those are more expensive. So I'm just going to go to this card here. And what am I going to buy? Oh, I should mention one other thing. When you buy cards, you can actually also either buy from these cards, or you could upgrade a card that you already have. So you can see that all these cards are at level 1. And if you paid the cost again, you get to flip the card over and upgrade it, and it's better. So it's worth more reputation points, and it has more spots where I could get more fossils. And every card is like that. Okay, so actually what I want to buy is this right here, this fishing boat. It costs $2. Okay, so I'm going to take that, pay $2, and put it in my tableau. And then I'll replace that spot right here. Okay, so now my turn's over. I've used all my adventures. I'm going to turn it over to your turn. So on your turn, you're going to do the same thing. You have 3 dice, so that's 3 adventures. So you're going to go ahead and roll that. Okay, you rolled a 2, 5, and a 4. So what are you going to do? I think you would like to go diving. We were talking about that earlier, and you only needed 2, so it's low right now, and might as well take advantage of it. So there you go. You get the pottery. So we'll put this right here. Yep. And there's actually something I forgot to do on my turn, at the end of my turn. You're supposed to mark how many reputation points you have. I have 1 because of that new boat I bought. So I'll take one of my cubes, and this board right here, this is to mark your reputation. So I have 1 reputation. When somebody reaches 20, it triggers the end of the game. Okay. So you've used 2 of your adventures. You got the pottery. With the other 2, let's see, what would you like to do? I think you're going to, let's see, why not get fossils? Since I already kind of went for scrolls and took the 1 spot, fossils are going to be a little bit easier to sell. So you'll go there with the 4 and get a fossil, and then you'll go up to the museum, and on the fossil museum, you can sell your fossil, and that will get you $1. Okay. So now you have a total of $3. you could spend it, but you used all of your adventures, all 3 of them, so your turn is over. So let me just show you really quickly one extra thing on these museums. Why keep track of the orders on the top? Well, that's because each museum is worth bonus victory points, or I should say reputation points at the end of the game. So the player that has the most sales in each museum gets a bonus set of reputation points. So like these are worth 3, and these 2 are worth 4. And that can be a big deal at the end of the game. Okay, so that's it for part 1 of this video, and I hope that gives you a little bit of an idea of how to play. Thanks for watching.